Good afternoon. This is Kathleen Drew, Chair of the Washington Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council, bringing our August meeting to order. Ms. Grantham, would you call the roll?
Currently Chair Drew. Department of Commerce,
Elizabeth Osborne, present.
Department of Ecology, Department of Fish and Wildlife,
Mike Livingston, present.
Department of Natural Resources,
Lenny Young, present.
Utilities and Transportation Commission,
Stacy Brewster, present.
for local government and optional state agencies for the Horse Heaven Project for Benton County, Ed Brost.
Ed is here.
For the, we will not be calling Badger Mountain. For Watoma Solar for Benton County, Dave Sharp.
Dave Sharp, present.
Washington State Department of Transportation, Paul Gonseth.
Paul Gunseth, present.
For the Hop Hill Solar Project for Benton County, Paul Crouppen. For the Carriager Solar Project for Klickitat County, Matt Childs. For the Wallula Gap Project for Benton County, Adam File. And for the GoldenEye Best Project for Skagit County, Rob Eckroth.
Robbie Eckroth, present.
Assistant Attorney Generals, John Thompson
Present.
and Zach Packer. Administrative Law Judges, Adam Torum,
This is Judge Torm.
Laura Bradley, Dan Gerard, and Travis Dupree. For council staff, I will call those who will be anticipated to speak today. Amy Hofgemeyer,
Present.
Amy Moon,
Present.
Sarah Randolph, Lance Caputo,
Present.
John Barnes,
Present.
Joanne Snarsky,
Present.
and Zia Ahmed.
Present.
For operational updates, Kittitas Valley Wind Project,
Jared Cassidy, present.
Wild Horse Wind Power Project,
Jennifer Galbraith, present.
Bryce Harbor Energy Center, Chehalis Generation Facility,
Jeremy Smith, present.
Columbia Generating Station,
Dennis Mahinagich, present.
Columbia Solar,
Thomas Cushing, present.
and Goose Prairie Solar.
Jacob Christ, present.
And do we have anyone present for the Council for the Environment?
Yes, Sarah Reineveld and Yuri Koral are present.
Thank you. Chair, there is a quorum for all councils.
Thank you. Moving on to the proposed agenda. Council members, you have that in front of us. Is there a motion to adopt the proposed agenda?
Lenny Young, so moved.
Second?
Elizabeth Osborne, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The agenda is adopted. Moving on to the monthly meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve the monthly meeting minutes?
Stacy Brewster, so moved.
Second?
Mike Livingston, second.
Thank you. I have a few minor changes. First of all, on page 14, line 9, star should be start. On page 33, line 13, delete the word date. On page 53, line 3, delete the word from. And on page 55, line 6, the word engage should be engagement. Does anyone else have any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of the approving the amended minutes, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The July minutes as amended are approved. Moving on to our agenda for operational updates. Kittitas Valley Wind Project, Mr. Cassidy.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chair Drew, FSEC Council and staff. This is Jared Cassidy with EDP Renewables for the Kittitas Valley Wind Power Projects. We had nothing non-routine to report for the period.
Thank you. Wild Horse Wind Power Project, Ms. Galbraith.
Yes, thank you, Chair Drew, council members, and FSEC staff. For the record, this is Jennifer Galbraith representing Puget Sound Energy for the Wild Horse Wind Facility. For the month of July, I have no non-routine updates. However, we did get the opportunity to meet with FSEC site specialist Sarah Randolph, who visited Wild Horse on August 15th, and it was great to meet her in person and to show her around the facility and introduce her to staff. So thank you.
Thank you. Chehalis Generation Facility, Jeremy Smith.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members, and FSEC staff. This is Jeremy Smith, the operations manager, representing the Chehalis Generation Facility. I do not have anything non-routine to note for the month of July.
Thank you. Grays Harbor Energy Center, Mr. Sharon.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members, and FSEC staff. It's Chris Sharon, Plant Manager, Grace Harbor Energy Center, and I do not have anything that was everything was routine for the month of July.
Thank you. Columbia Solar, Mr. Cushing.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members, FSEC staff. This is Thomas Cushing speaking on behalf of Columbia Solar. There are no non-routine updates to report.
Thank you. Columbia Generating Station and WNP 1 and 4, Mr. Mehinagic.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members, FSEC staff. This is Dennis Mehinagic speaking on behalf of Energy Northwest, Columbia Generating Station, and Washington Nuclear Projects 1 and 2. Energy Northwest has been requested to update the council regarding an event which occurred in June of 2023. On Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, while Columbia Generating Station was shut down for a refueling and maintenance outage, the facility experienced an unintended loss, conservatively estimated at no more than 300 gallons of oil from a turbine oil heat exchanger when a tube failed during routine maintenance. The oil was introduced to the site cooling system. The oil, Mobil DTE 732, is not a hazardous substance according to the safety data sheet. A comprehensive overview of this event was given during the June 21st, 2023 council meeting. In a letter received from the Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council on July 7th, 2023, FSEC concluded that the event was reported in accordance with the requirements of the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. In addition, since the lube oil cleanup has been completed, no further corrective actions or penalties would be imposed. In a follow-up letter from FSEC on May 7th, 2024, the incident was officially considered closed. The Department of Ecology's Resource Damage Assessment Committee conducted a comprehensive evaluation of the June 2023 event. On July 22nd, 2024, the committee issued an invoice to Energy Northwest, which has since been paid.
Thank you. So this concludes all activities around that incident. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Chair Drew, this is Amy Moon, a siting specialist, and I just have a couple follow-up things to report to the council on that, just to give a little bit more information about that resource damage assessment. That committee is headed by Ecology. It meets once per month to conduct pre-assessment screenings for oil spills into Washington state waters. The committee consists of Department of Ecology, that's the chair, the Department of Fish and Wildlife, Department of Natural Resources, State Parks and Recreation Commission, Department of Health, and the Department of Archaeology and Historic Preservation. FSEC is not a member of that RDA committee, and the committee has no requirements to report to FSEC, but this update is to keep the FSEC Council informed regarding that 2023 lube oil incident. The RDA committee discussed the the release and clean up in their meeting that they had on September 13th, 2023. And the committee authorized the use of a compensation schedule to calculate the damages. And the meeting minutes are on this resource damage assessment website that the council can and the public can access. And I spoke with Sam Hunn at Ecology about an overall enforcement packet that goes with the resource damage assessment. And he said that there's 3 parts to that. There's a natural resource damage where there's an assessment for impacts to the natural resources. And that, I believe, is the invoice that Dennis spoke of. Then there's a cost recovery for the spill response. And it's my understanding that Ecology was the spill response. Sometimes there's Fish and Wildlife is called in. And that monetary recovery amount is coming from the Ecology Budget Office, and it's not yet ready. And then the third part is a penalty part, and that has not been issued as well. That's like the enforcement piece. So that is, Energy Northwest doesn't have that yet. It's not been finalized. But the Department of Ecology did reach out to FSEC just to ask about the compliance with the NPDES and wanted just some information on the overall spill itself and response. Do they have any questions?
Thank you. Are there any questions from any council members? Thank you for that. Okay, moving on to Goose Prairie Solar Project, Mr. Christ.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chair Drew, FSEC Council and staff. This is Jacob Christ, Senior Project Manager on behalf of Brookfield Renewable North America, providing the Goose Prairie Solar update for the month of July. So the project remained on contractual schedule. Some of our upcoming milestone dates for commissioning activities are in the past as of this meeting. However, we did meet the dates. I don't think that we can necessarily consider the start of our 90-day soak and hot commissioning of inverters as of the 21st yet. We're going through commissioning activities, running into some issues that are not unexpected, and we're working through those issues before we can get sync with the utility. We are considered mechanically complete contractually. We are still expecting on or around the 22nd of November to receive utility sign off and be considered commercially operational. And in substantial completion, we are tracking right now for Christmas Eve of this year. Hopefully we can pull that back a few days. All major scope items are complete from a construction standpoint. Again, we're in the commissioning phase at this point. Cleanup items and current punch list items that we were tracking are complete, and all that remains are the backfeeding of the substation or the hot commissioning and the BPA testing, along with some minor punch list items that will come from the hot commissioning activities and the BPA testing pieces. We have submitted, that I'm aware of, all of our O&M site certificate deliverables that are required 90 days prior to COD, and that they are in with the council for review. And then no discharge was reported on site in the month of July, and we did continue with the frequent monitoring through WSP with no findings reported for July. Any questions?
What I understand you to say is that you're going through the final preparation for completion with the utility, and you expect that to be done November 20th to 22nd and to be fully operational by the end of the year. Is that correct?
Yes. So yes, our utility sign-off date is expected around November 22nd. And that is a 90-day built-in requirement with BPA. And then from from an offtake perspective,
Yes.
our expectation is that we can declare commercial operation, we can declare COD from an off-taker on the 22nd of November. However, our project will not be substantially complete from a contractual standpoint with our contractor until December 24th. There are 2 tests that they have to meet, an availability test and a capacity test, that they have to basically prove that the site can generate what they said it could when they built it, and that it is available. It has a high percentage of availability in the month or months of the year that it will be tested in.
Okay. And can you, I'm not bringing to mind who is going to be the off-taker for your project.
Yeah, I would have to get back to you, the council, on that one. I can work through Sarah Randolph and provide that information.
That would be great. Thank you. Any other
Yeah, thank
questions
you.
from council members? Okay. High Top and Ostria, we have them together. Project updates is Ms. Randolph. Oh, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Chair Drew. For the record, this is John Barnes on behalf of Sarah Randolph, Site Specialist for the High Top in Ostria project. FSEC staff received a draft of the initial site restoration plan, or ISRP, from the certificate holder, which is available to you in your packet. Staff has reviewed the draft in consultation with our independent contractor and our Attorney General, and determined that the plan complies with the Facilities Site Certification Agreement, or SCA, and in accordance with Washington Administrative Code, or WAC 463-72. The ISRP was posted to the comments section of the FSEC website for a public comment period from August 14th, 2024 to August 18th, 2024. We did not receive any public comments. The ISRP is required to be approved by the Council per WAC 463-72-030. At this time, staff recommend the Council vote to approve the ISRP as provided. We have no other updates at this time.
Thank you. So council members, you have received the copy of the initial site restoration plan, and this we're talking about is for Ostria as the one going forward at this point in time. High Top's a little bit longer in its, it hasn't come up to this point yet. So as they're 2 separate projects, what I'm looking for is a motion to approve the initial site restoration plan. Is there a motion to do so?
Lenny Young, I move approval of the Ostria ISRP.
Thank you. Thanks. Are there any comments or questions for staff? Hearing none. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The motion is approved for the initial site restoration plan for the Ostria project. Thank you. Horse Heaven Wind Farm project update, Ms. Moon.
Good afternoon, Council Chair Drew and FSEC council members. Once again, for the record, this is Amy Moon reporting on the Horse Heaven Wind project. As requested, FSEC staff have prepared language as discussed by the council at the July 17th, 2024 council meeting to address feedback and comments provided by the governor's office on that draft SCA and recommendation. Proposed changes to the draft site certification agreement documents reflecting council direction on mitigation measures have been provided to council for review and are currently out for public comment. That comment period is August 19th through the 25th. It closes at 11:59 p.m. on the 25th. Comments will be provided to the council ahead of a special meeting that is scheduled for August 29th at 3 p.m. Does the council have any questions?
Are there any questions from council members? Okay, thank you. Moving on to the Watoma project update, Mr. Caputo.
Thank you, Chair Drew and council members. The adjudicative hearing for the Watoma Solar Energy Project is scheduled for next month on Wednesday, September 25, 2024, beginning at 9 a.m. and lasting until 5 p.m. if necessary. Staff are working to schedule the public comment portion of the adjudication. Thank you. May I answer any questions?
Are there any questions for Mr. Caputo? Thank you. Barnes?
Thank you, Chair Drew and council members. For the record, this is John Barnes, FSEC staff for the Hop Hill application. Work is continuing with the applicant to complete studies and reports needed to make a SEPA determination. We continue to coordinate and review the application with our contractor, contracted agencies, and tribal governments. Are there any questions?
Urger Solar update, project update, Ms. Norski.
Thank you, Chair Drew and council members. This is Joanne Snarski, for the record, the siting specialist for Carriger Solar. On August 1st, we received an updated amendment to the wetland and water bodies delineation reports previously submitted in 2023. This amendment was in response to comments received from Department of Ecology, both in writing and during a field visit conducted earlier this spring. We anticipate final comments from Ecology in early September. Finally, in anticipation of the completion of the Traditional and Cultural Properties Study by the Yakima Nation Cultural Resources Program in December of 2024, Chair Drew has initiated a formal government-to-government consultation request with the tribe. We hope to precede the formal consultation with more informal discussions to address process and timelines. Any questions?
Are there any questions? Thank you. Lula Gap, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Chair Drew and council members. For the record, this is John Barnes, FSEC staff for the Willow Gap application. The applicant, One Energy, has partnered with SWCA Environmental Consultants to conduct and complete a cultural resource survey for the Wallula Gap application. Work is scheduled for August of 2024. Staff are continuing to review the application with our contractor, contracted agencies, and tribal governments. Are there any questions?
Did you say that they've contracted for the survey beginning this month?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's going not at the beginning, but during this month.
Okay.
Yes.
Making sure that that's what I heard. Thank you. Any other questions? GoldenEye Bess project update. Ahmed.
Thank you, Chair Drew and council member. For the record, this is Zia Ahmed, siting specialist for the GoldenEye Battery Energy Storage Project. On August 13, 2024, FSEC arranged a public information hearing and a land use consistency hearing as required by RCW AD.50.090, WAC 463-26-025, WAC 463-26-035, and WAC 463-26-050 in the Skagit County, Washington. During the public information hearing, comments were recorded, and at the land use hearing, the applicant and the public provided testimony regarding proposed project consistency and compliance with the land use planning and zoning ordinances. There were 28 speakers at public information hearing and 7 at land use consistency hearing. There were 37 total public comments, including written comments, which include comments from the Skagit County Planning and Development Services, 1 comment from the Snoqualmie tribe, and 1 comment from the Squaxin tribe. That's all the update I have for now. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions from council members? Okay, thank you very much. And that is our agenda for today's meeting. If there are no other subjects to come before us, which there are not, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.